I am very enthusiastic.
We'll never own a monkey, she told us when we was kids. We'll never own a monkey. And now this is her favorite one, is Coco.
Yeah, this is my favorite one.
She sent her son to pick me up, and I came to Nebraska. The best thing that ever happened to me.
I originally wanted to learn the ukulele to teach children's music classes, and it became so much more than that.
We'll sing this song all the way home.
Just felt so natural.
We'll sing this song all the way home.
I'm very proud of the ladies that work for me. What these ladies do is they give from the heart, and they use their hands.
This is our way of helping, and it's nice to be able to physically do things for them that they cannot do.
So it just makes them feel really good that they're able to do a little something for someone.
People are very appreciative.
Oh, they've just been great.
When someone tells me that we made a little difference in their life, that we provided a little less stress, it means everything to me.
Dear Ricky, I know your parents believed in you. I believe in you, and upon your release, if there's anything I can do to help you, feel free to contact me. And it was signed Tom Osborne.
Those are just a few of the extraordinary people that we met in 2015. In the next half hour, we'll get you reintroduced to many more interesting people in this 23rd edition of the Best of Lance's Journal. Hello, everybody. I'm Lance Schwartz. Tricia and Jeff Ward believe that the only thing better than a good cookie is a good warm cookie. That's why they started up a new business in Lincoln that caters to the cookie cravers in the capital city.
How many orders did you take for tomorrow?
37.
Tricia and Jeff Ward started delivering warm cookies just a month and a half ago.
He wasn't too sure he even wanted me to do this at first.
But eventually, Jeff climbed on board.
At first it was,
I had to. I was making cookie dough 12 hours a day.
After 32 years of marriage, something tells me it's going to work out just fine for these two.
Well, we've always been best friends.
And these best friends are no strangers to the food service industry. They created Engine House Cafe in Havelock in 1994.
The Warm Cookie is just a company that delivers warm cookies and milk. It's simple as that.
And as far as she knows,
it's the only delivery service in Lincoln that delivers warm cookies. There's a lot of cookie places and bakeries in Lincoln, but nobody delivers it warm.
And the Wards are hopeful that that temperature distinction will set them apart from the rest of Lincoln's cookie companies.
You can buy cookies anywhere, but you can't buy warm cookies anywhere.
These are the flavors that we have now. We only have 5 because I'm very picky on the recipe themselves, and so to be sure they're just what I want, I have to slowly work to get the recipe I want.
This goes back to your childhood, and it's always good memories when you got warm cookies.
What can't that fix?
She's come home happy so many times, even after a 12-hour day of making cookies. It's very beautifully displayed. She makes it look really nice, and she hands them the box of cookies, and she says their eyes just light up because they can feel that the box is warm.
It just makes me feel really good. I mean, it's like I give a gift to myself each time, because nobody's unhappy to get a box of cookies. And when I hand them to people, it's amazing. Everybody, even though the name is The Warm Cookie, they take the box and they go, "Oh, it's warm."
Oh, thank you. They're warm.
They are.
And not only are the cookies warm, people seem to think they're pretty tasty, too.
Top notch.
Very good. Delicious.
It's just a little bit extra when it's warm.
Tricia and Jeff say they do prefer a 24-hour notice when you make your order from the Warm Cookie. But every now and then, they do cater to the cookie emergencies that require same-day service. Quilts of Valor is an international foundation that got started by Catherine Roberts in Delaware in 2003. 4 years ago, the Quilts of Valor Foundation made its way to Nebraska 4-H clubs.
I pledge my head to clear thinking.
These York County 4-H members are dedicated to the Quilts of Valor Challenge.
And my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
So this is a quilt that my brother and I made for Jim Crumbaugh.
Claire and William Wilton made a Vietnam veteran very happy.
And we presented it to him, and he was speechless. And he just kept saying how nobody's ever done anything for him before, because when he came back, they just treated him like he never left. So it was really sentimental to us because we knew him well.
Are any of you coming to the National Quilt of Valor Sewing Day, which is Saturday, February 7th?
Eileen Crumbaugh became the Quilts of Valor organizer in York County in 2011.
With adult help, they're learning a skill and they're also learning to give back to their community.
Leon Linhart had been searching for a way to show his appreciation to our troops.
I found out about this organization and making quilts for wounded soldiers. The idea really appealed to me because it was a way to give back to those who've given so much for us.
Leon has made 4 quilts that have been taken to the county fair and the state fair before they were presented.
And so how many quilts have you made? Did you say 5 quilts?
Phyllis Shaneholtz is a UNL Extension educator in Thayer and Nuckolls County, and she coordinates Quilts of Valor at the state fair.
It was amazing. I like seeing the looks on their faces when they see the quilt wrapped around them.
Phyllis says each quilt presentation is very personal.
When you present it, you have to say thank you for your service, and it is an award to them. It's not just a gift or it's not just a presentation.
And the 4-H'ers don't just hand the quilt to the recipient.
And you wrap it around them as you present it to them.
And Claire says the quilts are made to be used.
It's to give comfort and warmth, so you want to use it to actually feel the love that's been put into all these quilts that we've made.
Nationally, more than 113,000 Quilts of Valor have been presented since 2003. Organizers of the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Rally and March here in Lincoln wanted to find a way to commemorate this very special 20th anniversary year with a very special project. They decided to involve some talented young artists from Northwest Lincoln.
This is Malcolm X, and it was really special for me because I researched him last year.
Abiel Sabio had a good feeling about this project when he heard about it last fall.
Well, at the very beginning when Mr. Ferguson and Mr. Schwaninger told us about the project, I was really anxious to start. I knew it was going to be really special, and it really is.
We were just really looking for something that would make the 20th year stand out.
And Pete Ferguson did just that. As the adult advisor of the Youth Rally and March, Pete found a very meaningful experience for the kids.
It really was something that showcased their talents to themselves, but also to the community, but also really showcased what Dr. Bullock was really envisioned when this Youth Rally and March came together in 1994.
It was a big job and it was a little bit stressful. It was really impressive to see how much the kids were invested and how much time and care they took in creating the pieces.
Art specialist Adam Schwaninger was the man in charge of organizing this project at SCO. 23 portraits were created by 90 students over a month and a half.
During that time, they were able to research the people, pick the person that they wanted to paint, and then they also had a hand in selecting the image, manipulating the image, kind of photoshopping and creating that final picture. And then they actually built these frames, from the ground up. They were able to put these together, build them, cover them in newspaper, paint them, and then also we did like a spray paint background to finish it up.
Mr. Schwaninger got the feeling his students felt the importance of this significant project.
I think the combination of knowing they're doing something for a bigger cause and not just for themselves or for the teacher really helped them push it to the extra effort and create something so awesome.
Each of the contemporary pop art style paintings were displayed around Lincoln over the past few months.
It's a really big project and it turned out really, really well. It was an amazing project, and I think it really looks good on SCO and everybody who is a part of it.
Now from one art form to another. Rachel Price grew up in O'Neill, listening to her dad's classic 80s rock and roll music, and eventually putting her own music on YouTube. A producer from Los Angeles saw one of those videos and pointed her toward Nashville, and it all started in a little Nebraska town.
First name basis. Friday night was the main event under those bright lights with hopes of a win. But we knew it didn't matter anyway.
Since the video for Little Nebraska Town was released on the internet last December, it has been viewed 500,000 times.
Of all the moments that brought me here, and all the memories that I feel, I'm pretty sure the best ones that I found started in a little Nebraska town.
I love this song. I do, because I'm from Falls City.
Yeah.
I'm from a little Nebraska town, like you are.
Yeah.
It really hits home for me. It resonates. Why did you decide to write this song and perform it?
I want to write about where I'm from, because I know so many Nebraskans feel the same way as I do. We're so proud of where we're from, and we love telling the story of our little Nebraska towns.
There really is no place like it, living that good life, wouldn't want to change a thing. Born red, and you know we're corn-fed.
Born red and corn-fed. Yes.
That's you.
Yes, that's everybody in Nebraska.
I love Nebraska.
This 2012 O'Neill High School graduate had spent 2 years at South Dakota State before getting the opportunity to move to Nashville last fall.
We're going to work on hopefully recording a full album, and then just kind of taking big steps with the music career and moving forward. So.
Of all the moments that brought me here, and all the memories that I feel, I'm pretty sure the best ones that I found started in a little Nebraska town.
Rachel Price was born red and corn-fed, so she loved the Huskers from the start. Ricky Simmons, on the other hand, was a Texas football player who had to learn to love the Big Red.
Well, you know, the first thing I noticed was when I walked out here, I saw all of these seats.
Ricky Simmons fondly recalls the Sea of Red.
These fans never wavered. They were always here.
Ricky's favorite play in Memorial Stadium took place in the fall of '82.
It was started on about 61 yards away from where I'm standing.
Quarterback Matheson just stood straight up, and he hit a fly pattern down the left sideline.
But I was coming right about here, and I came on in.
Ricky Simmons got in behind the cornerback on the left side.
And it was over. What do you say, young man?
Ricky first met Tom Osborne in '79.
So you're looking like $1 million bucks?
Coach Osborne recruited Ricky out of Greenville, Texas.
So Ricky came up and developed into a fine receiver for us.
After his final game with the Huskers in the 1984 Orange Bowl, Ricky got the chance to play professional football in the USFL. But during his first season with the Atlanta Falcons, he quit the team to become, as he calls it, a full-time drug addict. Ricky went from the NFL to prison.
I made some poor choices, and I own those.
During his fourth stay in prison in 2007, Ricky received a very important piece of mail.
When I was probably at my lowest, I received a letter from Coach Osborne. I didn't even know that he knew my condition, you know, because I hadn't spoke with him for 20 years.
Ricky says that gesture of hope was a godsend.
The letter was very simple. It was, if I remember correctly, it was, "Dear Ricky, I know your parents believed in you. I believe in you, and upon your release, if there's anything I can do to help you, feel free to contact me." And it was signed Tom Osborne.
Ricky's life was forever changed as he fell instantly to his knees.
At that point, I turned my life over to Christ, and I haven't looked back since then.
As you know, timing is everything, and it wasn't anything that I had any idea would have any particular impact on Ricky at that time.
The timing of that letter made all the difference in the world.
Sometimes it's just little things that seem inconsequential that become big things.
Ricky has been a motivational speaker for the past 5 years.
Pay attention, okay? Because without your grades, everything else is irrelevant.
Been proud of what Ricky has done because obviously he's made a considerable transformation with his life.
Every day that I'm blessed to see, I look at it as another day in paradise.
And trust me when I tell you, when Ricky says another day in paradise, he means it. Growing up, Brenda Schwery's parents taught her that whenever it's possible, always do your best to help those in need. She kept that in mind as she started her Made to Please cleaning company in 1999. And she put that mantra into motion 12 years later when she founded Aiding Angels in 2011.
This service is free to anyone going through cancer treatment.
Welcome.
How are you?
Pretty good. I found out that I had cancer about a year ago.
Aiding Angels came to the aid of Ken Chalquist in Waverly. They cleaned his home once a week while he received cancer treatments.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's super.
Anybody who is going through cancer treatment just needs to get on the website.
Over the past 4 years, Brenda Schwery's organization has helped hundreds and hundreds of people just like Ken. And Brenda estimates that Aiding Angels has given more than $60,000 worth of free cleaning.
The money means nothing to me. The helping of people is what it's all about.
Brittany Stevens and Stephanie Zaz are 2 of 30 cleaning professionals that work for both Made to Please and Aiding Angels.
I'm very proud of the ladies that work for me. What these ladies do is they give from the heart, and they use their hands.
This is our way of helping, and it's nice to be able to physically do things for them that they cannot do.
So it just makes them feel really good that they're able to do a little something for someone.
People are very appreciative.
Oh, they've just been great.
When someone tells me that we made a little difference in their life, that we provided a little less stress, it means everything to me.
I'd recommend this to anyone. Took the fluids okay.
Ken has gotten promising results with his cancer treatment.
God willing, I'm still here.
And now you beat it.
You bet.
You beat it.
Aiding Angels seems to benefit the giver just as much as it does the receiver.
And I'm glad we could help.
Well, you did.
May have only cleaned some toilets and vacuumed some carpets,
but you helped a lot.
Well, you need to concentrate on your health and get better.
Yeah.
That was the important thing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. If I can relieve a little bit of stress in someone's life, then I'm more than happy to do it. They're all cancer heroes to me.
Thanks for coming.
Of course.
If you're a cancer hero and you'd like some assistance from Aiding Angels, go to the Aiding Angels Facebook page and contact these wonderful people. Mothers sometimes have a tendency to put their own personal aspirations on hold while they raise their families. But the 3 ladies you're about to meet have discovered a beautiful balance between motherhood and music.
We'll shoot 'em down, honey, every last word.
Jessica Luby knew it was right from the moment she started to strum.
I originally wanted to learn the ukulele to teach children's music classes, and it became so much more than that.
We'll sing this song all the way home.
Just felt so natural.
We'll sing this song all the way home.
That was back in 2010 when Hope Dunbar says the stars aligned and Star Bell was born.
That first night we ran through a couple songs and we looked at each other and said, oh, this is pretty great.
The 3rd member of the trio is Hope's sister-in-law, Emily Dunbar.
It's been a great creative outlet. It's been a great social outlet because we have a pretty good time together.
We like places where we don't speak the language.
Jessica says playing in this ukulele trio has relit her musical fire.
Sometimes.
I'm thankful for my family, but I let that take a back seat, and it's something that's very, very important in my life is music, and it always has been, and now I feel like it's been sort of an awakening for me to be a part of this.
Make some room for the unknown. Make some room for the round the bend.
Hope says having this musical outlet has made her more well-rounded.
I finally got to a point where I needed something that was fulfilling and inspiring so that I could be my best self, you know, raising little ones and being a good wife and a good mom, you know.
We are very blessed to have husbands and families that support us.
Please don't burn the mercy.
Star Bell writes and plays their own original country and folk songs.
To pardon me.
And they've also worked in new instruments over the past 5 years.
Here we go. Please don't burn the mercy seat.
We are teaching our children that you can be what you want to be in this life, and that if you are passionate about something, you can go for it.
Make some room for love.
And if you'd like to book Starbell for a gig of your own, go to starbelltrio.com and make it happen. Val Groh was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. 6 years ago, Val was living in Arizona, a victim of domestic abuse. She searched for a way to escape her desperate situation and leave Yuma for good. Fortunately, she had a friend here in Nebraska that offered her a place to seek shelter.
She sent her son to pick me up, and I came to Nebraska. The best thing that ever happened to me.
Because here in Nebraska, Val not only found a refuge, she found a new purpose in life.
If there's such a thing as heaven on earth, it's Nebraska.
After Val overcame a devastating illness, she questioned herself.
I said, well, what am I going to do with the rest of my life?
The answer appeared in 2010.
I've been blessed, so I figured I'd give back.
5 years ago, just south of Lincoln in the tiny town of Firth, a woman with a big heart found her calling.
Nobody should go without basics, and that's shelter, clothing, and food.
Miss Val specializes in the collecting and distributing of used clothing.
I live this.
And she doesn't do it alone.
It's phenomenal as far as I'm concerned, the amount of clothes.
Art Coeur collects clothes for Vals Project in Hickman.
That helps a lot of people out in the country that can't get into Lincoln. You know, the transportation is the biggest problem, so if she provides the source.
It's a wonderful feeling to give to people that really deserve and need things that they can't afford. They work hard, and when they get down to the bottom line of food and clothing, they don't have money for it.
And with the help of Miss Val, they don't need money for clothes.
I'm Miss Val, the Queen of Free.
And the Queen of Free feels right at home in a front room full of clothes. So over the past 5 years, you've given away more than 80,000 articles of clothing.
Yes.
Wow.
And I can safely say that 9/10 of those clothes I have touched with my own hands.
And she wouldn't have it any other way.
Belts. My life's mission is to touch as many lives as I can before I pass.
Miss Val is healthy and always on the go now as she continues to fill up storage units with clothes and fill up humans with hope.
What runs my project is donations, volunteers, and by the grace of God, we go from day to day. We take it one step at a time to bigger and better things.
Keep up the great work, Val. You make Nebraska better every day. Todd Loudenclass grew up with a passion for pets, but not just any pets. He liked animals that came from foreign lands, the kinds you don't see very often around these parts. He planned to become a zoologist, but when things didn't work out there, he just skipped the zoologist part and built Nebraska's only privately owned zoo.
Hello, welcome to Monroe, Nebraska and the Hornt Zoo. Let's take a look around. This is Tarzan. He's
Todd Loudenclass could spend all day introducing you to his wide world of animals.
This is Nikon. He's a 9-year-old Watusi steer. We have Festus here. He's a double hump camel. Hello, Pete. Hello.
Todd's not married and he doesn't have any children. Well, human children, that is.
What do you want? I know you're slobbering on me.
Dr. Doolittle would be proud.
He's just kind of like a kid. Goes everywhere I go, 24 hours a day, he's with me.
This baby kangaroo even goes to Todd's full-time job at the sale barn.
Because he gets a bottle 4 times a day.
Do I get a hug?
Todd's mom, Sharon, detected her son's fascination with creatures great and small early on.
Todd's always liked animals, so then when he said he's going to have a zoo, I said, a zoo?
We'll never own a monkey, she told us when we was kids. We'll never own a monkey. And now this is her favorite one, is
Yeah, this
Coco.
is my favorite one.
He raised a bottle of sheep.
Trips to the sale barn in kindergarten with Dad helped foster Todd's passion.
And he just kept wanting to buy strange animals.
I got Molly, 10-year-old yak.
Randy Fisher is the 4th member of the Hornt Zoo family.
My favorite part probably is seeing the expressions on the kids' faces.
One of the coolest parts about the Hornt Zoo experience is that visitors get to touch and feel almost every animal here. They even get to touch a North American alligator. And you can even hold an African desert fox. And you can pet a prickly hedgehog as well.
This is what we do, up close and personal with all our animals.
But as you might imagine, there are a few animals you don't even want to touch. The caracal, the porcupines, and the longhorn steer.
Probably around 15, 18 years ago, we started out with just a few animals, zebras and Watusi. And then ever since that, just keep growing and growing to what we have now. Around 35 to 40 different exotic animals here.
The Hornt Zoo opened its gates 5 years ago, and
every year it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Sharon invites you to visit the Hornt Zoo.
A lot of people don't know that this place exists. They should come and see us. They're always welcome.
Be sure and visit the Hornt Zoo crew anytime between May and October. And finally, how about that Husker Volleyball team ending the season with a national championship? And their longtime PA announcers got to go out with a championship as well.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center for tonight's Big Ten Conference matchup between the Michigan State Spartans and your Nebraska Huskers.
That's the voice that has welcomed Husker Volleyball fans for a long, long time.
I am very enthusiastic.
Steve Johnson has enjoyed training the crowd.
The first time it just happened, I said, kill by number 17, Janet Cruz, and right away the crowd picked it up, and it was all the way through her career, it was Cruz. They try to replicate kind of what we do over the PA, the roof, we've got it orchestrated down. Point Huskers!
With Steve at the mic and Vicky continually sharing tidbits of player information in his ear, this dynamic duo has been as dedicated as they come.
I was with him from the start. If you had known him 30 years ago, he wore pretty thick glasses. He had trouble with his eyesight.
Steve says he couldn't have done it without his wife.
Things on the volleyball court happen very quickly, and because of the way we announce, I can keep feeding him information as he's talking. So we kind of have a rhythm.
And they've been in rhythm for many years. Steve was only a freshman at Laurel High School in northeast Nebraska when he started dating Vicky.
And she's much older. She was a sophomore in high school. So it's been a long time. We've had a 52-year relationship.
They've been married 46 years.
See what I told you about goosebumps? Still.
Steve has also delivered his fair share of big red goosebumps.
We're not supposed to be cheerleaders, but we're cheerleaders.
These Wayne State graduates have announced that this will be their last season at the scorer's table.
Vicky taught for 32 years. I was director of the Nebraska Coach Association 26 years. And those two positions were easier to give up than this is. This has been a passion of ours for 3 decades. We love every match. We love the fans. We love the kids. The last night we announced it's going to be really tough.
Well, that'll do it for this 23rd edition of the Best of Lance's Journal. I'm Lance Schwartz. Thanks for joining us. So long, everybody.